Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Carmouche. We are inching up to that 6:30 mark this Monday morning. Today is November 25th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Megan, we are happy that it's not so cold to need a big, thick coat this morning, but that may be changing.
That may be changing. Yes, as you're going through the next couple days, you can expect some cooler weather. But for now, you're not going to need that coat. You're not going to need that raincoat just quite yet. But let's take a look at the satellite and radar. As you can see, it is nice and clear right now. We do have those clouds moving through our area, but you could expect a shower or two in those mid-morning hours leading up into the bigger rain chances heading into your afternoon and evening. But those temperatures, again, not going to need that heavy coat, especially as you're traveling more towards the west. I mean, take a look at Monticello, 57 degrees, as well as Irvin. Definitely warm, not needing those coats. But maybe if you are in Clintwood or Grundy, you will need those coats. 29 degrees in Clintwood, 30 degrees in Grundy. But everybody will see the warming of those temperatures with those forecast highs in the low to mid 60s. So that is some good news. While some places may be cold this morning, they're still going to get up to some nice warm temperatures. So that is something to look forward to. And as we go through the day planner, you can really see those temperatures warming up throughout the next couple hours. We'll have those cloudy skies throughout the day and the rain chances picking up in the afternoon to the evening. And I'll have your bus stop forecast here in just a couple of minutes. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. A former Eastern Kentucky sheriff is set to appear in court later today. Mickey Steins was indicted by a Letcher County grand jury on one count of murder in connection with the death of District Judge Kevin Mullins. Steins pleaded not guilty in an arraignment on September 25th, and his attorney announced his decision to retire the following week. Steins will be arraigned in the Letcher County Circuit Courtroom on Monday at noon. A woman accused of murdering her husband is due in court in Laurel County. Police say back in March, Yolanda Lamelli called 911 and told them her husband had been shot. Police found Manuel Lamelli Jr. dead at the scene. An arrest citation says Lamelli didn't call for help until her son asked her to. She is charged with murder and evidence tampering. Lamelli's hearing is at 9. A man charged in a sexual assault on campus was arrested in Louisville this past weekend. UK police say the sexual assault happened November 10th at Rose Street and Euclid Avenue. They used security cameras on campus to identify Saif al-Khafaji as a suspect. Detectives issued an arrest warrant Thursday. Louisville Airport Police arrested him Saturday. He's charged with first-degree sexual abuse and second-degree indecent exposure. A Salyersville man has pleaded guilty for the possession and distribution of a child sex abuse material and a sexual crime against an animal. Following a cyber tip, law enforcement searched the IP address and social media of Kent Simpkins. Law enforcement found images of minors involved in sexual acts and several animal sex videos. A 10-year sentence was recommended for Simpkins by the Attorney General's Special Prosecutions Unit. Simpkins will be sentenced on March 6th. Last week, 2 city officials in Wayne County, West Virginia were arrested on several charges, including embezzlement. Joetta Hatfield is the mayor of Fort Gay and Sheila Bowen is the town recorder. They were arraigned in magistrate court Friday. According to criminal complaints filed, the charges stem from their work for the town of Fort Gay and incidents dating back to 2019. The family of a Louisville man killed in a deadly shooting is hoping to turn their pain into love. Earl Crawford was shot and killed last weekend. Police say it happened after an argument with another man. Saturday, Crawford's family hosted a prayer vigil and love walk to remember him. They say their goal was to show people there are alternatives to violence.
He had a light that shined and he touched so many people. He always had this magnetic smile, this magnetic personality. He could bring people together. It was a second nature, a superpower of his.
Police arrested 60-year-old Kevin Powell after the shooting. He faces murder, assault, and gun possession charges. He will appear in court next month. The unnamed pregnant woman who sued the state of Kentucky for not allowing her access to an abortion has terminated her pregnancy. A new court filing says Mary Poe traveled to another state to get the abortion because it was the best choice for her family. Attorneys for Poe say she is continuing with her lawsuit alongside the ACLU, saying that Poe satisfied Kentucky's constitutional standing requirement at the time of filing when she was pregnant and seeking abortion care. Attorney General Russell Coleman is calling on Congress to protect children from harm on the internet. Coleman and 30 attorney generals are calling for passage of the bipartisan Kids Online Safety Act before the end of the year. Some of the provisions include addiction prevention, allowing young users to disable manipulative design features, and parental empowerment, which would provide parents with tools to identify harmful behaviors. One Pike County mother is in mourning created a memorial toy drive in 2016 honoring her daughter during the holidays. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares how her mission to give has grown.
Malia Reed's mother says she came into the world as a sleeping angel on September 9th, 2016.
I was dealing with a lot of grief naturally, and I couldn't think of a way to deal with that. So I was sitting on my couch and I thought, you know, I'm not going to be able to shop for my baby this year, so why not shop for other kids?
So Melanie Reed created the Malia's Memory Christmas Toy Drive, collecting and buying gifts for the children in the hospital where her daughter was born. Though her baby girl, diagnosed with trisomy 18, never made it home, her presence has only grown through the presents gathered in her memory.
I'm proud of my family, my friends, the community, of strangers that I run into in the store. They're like, hey, you know, you do that toy drive. Are you doing it again this year? And I'm like, yeah. The
toy drive now brings in enough donations to split the gifts between the Niswonger Children's Hospital in Tennessee and the Met2 Children's Hospital at Pikeville Medical Center, allowing Reed to channel her holiday grief into hundreds of gifts for children who could use a little joy, with every toy coming from Malia.
After, 8 years, you think nobody remembers that little life. And to hear her name every holiday season, which is the toughest time of year for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons, but a lot of it is grief. And to hear her name it gives me chills, honestly, because it's like, okay, people are still remembering her, and remembering her not as a loss.
Reed says though she was never able to place a Christmas gift in Malia's hands, the little lamb has had a hand in every gift the drive has provided.
Being able to turn something horrifically tragic, a huge, huge loss, into something I consider very beautiful is amazing. And I'm so proud of her because, she may not be here physically, but obviously, to me, she's still here.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Reed says the Memorial Toy Drive is accepting donations year-round, either money or toy donations, and she plans to take this year's donations to 2 hospitals next month. See how to get involved over on our website. With the winter weather back in the forecast, advocates for the unhoused communities are concerned about their fate. West Care Emergency Shelter houses folks in need in the Pike County area and serves neighbors in Floyd and Letcher counties. Its workers have noted an increase in the number of unhoused individuals, which brings fear to the forefront as the temperatures decrease. And workers say while they are trying to increase their outreach, they fear lawmakers are making the unhoused neighbors feel even more alone with measures like House Bill 5 that passed earlier this year, which make street camping criminal.
Now these people are going to have to be pushed to more dangerous areas. They're living in the woods, they're public property. If you're caught under a bridge, they'll give you a fine. And that's someone who has nothing, but hey, let's hit you with a Class B misdemeanor and a $250 fine. To me, that's why a lot of people don't want help, is because if they can't trust their representatives in Frankfort, why would they trust me?
Workers say they will continue to reach out to those in need through the cold, hoping to create a safer space for them to feel seen, heard, and welcome.
We're starting off this morning relatively warm, but we're going to continue to warm up. By the time we get to our forecast highs, you can expect the low to mid 60s. Take a look as we have 63 as our forecast high here in Hazard, 62 for Clintwood and Wise. Heading to Jonesville, 64 degrees. And that will be the story for the rest of the day, but we will be cooling down throughout the rest of the week. And as we look at satellite and radar right now, it is quite cloudy, but that is the main story. Nothing much is going on other than that, but we do have some rain that will be pushing through our area throughout the rest of your day. But as you're heading off to the bus stop this morning, it'll be 50 degrees and cloudy skies. Heading to lunch, 60 degrees. And by the time you're heading home, it'll be 63 degrees with those cloudy skies with rain right around the corner. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. And as we continue dealing with the cold weather, many of you at home are probably getting your heating systems going. Robin Roberts of Bryant Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric says they get a lot of calls this time of year regarding heating systems. She says getting an inspection can help prevent problems.
In the fall, winter, we go through your heating system, check all your safety connections, check any of your electrical components, make sure everything's reading properly, making sure nothing's getting ready to fail. Check your ductwork, make sure you're not losing air anywhere.
Roberts says getting a routine inspection is very low cost. How you use your heat can also be a factor in the longevity of your heating system. And keeping the temperature consistent is the way to go. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and that means office potlucks and holiday gatherings are back in full swing. While potlucks can bring people together, sometimes they come with their own set of pitfalls. Amy Kawata shares what you might want to look out for before diving into the shared spread.
For many, potlucks are a staple of the holiday season.
Well, I love to eat, so I'm easy to please, so no, I've never been wary of potlucks.
But experts like Dr. Catherine Schlaffer with the University of Maryland Medical Center warn without taking proper precautions, they can quickly go from joyful to dangerous.
I love a good potluck. But I think aside from proper handling and proper prep, time and temperature management are kind of your two biggest pitfalls and things to be aware of.
And it's something Jamil Garrison treads very lightly on.
No, I usually don't go to potlucks. I don't trust everybody's cooking, so it's just my thing.
From foodborne illnesses to unexpected allergens, your holiday plate might carry more than just a side of green bean casserole.
Food shouldn't really be left out for more than 2 hours. That's when you're hitting that critical mass tipping point in terms of the ability for bacteria to proliferate and get us sick.
So to minimize any risk, the best advice to keep in mind is simple. Keep hot foods hot and cold foods cold.
Try to avoid what's referred to as the danger zone, anywhere between 40 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, according to the CDC.
Another potential hazard, cross-contamination.
Dedicated utensils are going to be really important for serving.
And experts say if you're eating those holiday favorites the next day, make sure you reheat all leftovers to 165 degrees and use a food thermometer to make sure. Amy Kawata, CBS News, Baltimore.
The USDA recommends using cooked leftovers within 3 to 4 days. Eastern Kentucky University celebrated the acceptance of SNAP benefits at the Stratton POD convenience store with a ribbon cutting. EKU President David McFadden says the initiative ensures students don't have to choose between education and basic needs. The effort, led by EKU's Food Security Coalition, builds on the work of the Colonel's Cupboard, which has supported students facing food insecurity for 10 years. Thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Officials believe Hezbollah and Israel could soon reach a temporary ceasefire that might lead to a longer lasting period of peace.